can you preserve a human body in resin to cover up a crime?
Apparently, there's a TV episode based on that premise, and y'all messaged us asking us to react to it and judge it. So that's what we're gonna do today.
And we do oddly feel qualified to evaluate this because we do have some experience preserving organic subjects in resin.
We understand so many of the issues that can pop up during a large-scale resin pour like this.
Especially with organic items. You got heat issues, cure time, juice.
The juice.
So much juice.
So here's a quick primer on the show in general so we can hop into this episode in particular and start judging.
Okay.
The government has been collecting all of its most dangerous criminals and putting them in one super secret jail. And I think doing experiments on them. I'm not fully sure.
Okay.
Anyways, something happens and all of them escape. Oh no, each episode focuses on recapturing one criminal. So our criminal likes resin.
Okay. Hope we don't get copyright claimed.
I hope we don't get copyright claimed.
Is this the intro? Why are there bugs? Wait, does he preserve bugs in resin?
Yes! So this is very interesting because this is a great example of preserving things in resin. Look at this cross section right here. You'll notice there are two resin layer pours. A resin layer on the bottom, then they place the scorpion, then they do another pour, then they polish it all nice and everything.
Well, that's usually what you would do because you don't want your subject floating.
No.
Like with these pumpkins, we've either done them in multiple layers for that reason, or we've had to put weights in them so that they don't float.
Yeah.
When I see this, I think, that guy knows resin.
That guy knows resin, or he bought it on Amazon.
Or he bought it on Amazon.
Okay, he's scoping for victims from his car, not creepy. Also, like here, this is not related to the resin, but how stereotypical sports go sports can you go for like casting a character? They like gave him everything, including like the headband. Is he wearing like shoulder pads?
Why is a sports fan wearing shoulder pads?
Why is he wearing shoulder pads? Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted, but I'm curious here.
Is that Sportsman? Oh, and he's looking shoulder pads.
Whoa! Wait! Shoulder man woke up part way
in resin.
His like face is out, so he is doing it in layers. That escalated quickly. He shows his victim. Boom! His victim is in resin.
I thought there would be some sort of murder happening, and then the body would be put in resin. But the resin is the murder.
Wait! This is
Wait, this is just like what we do.
I was thinking maybe he takes a person who is deceased and he pulls out their organs, drains any fluids like you do with like certain other burial methods.
But he's gonna be, he's got all of his juices
there's
still.
So much juices in this resin, and resin does not do well with juices.
No.
Now, you know what's interesting? If you're an alive human, you're not leaking juices.
But you will be.
Eventually.
The resin's gonna go into his throat. Okay, humans are a tube.
Humans are a tube.
Would there be as many juices as we fear if the tube stays sealed?
Does he like tape the mouth shut so that resin can't get in?
You have to tape the other end too.
All right, let's keep watching.
Okay.
He's in like a workshop, kind of like a garage-like workshop.
Oh, look at the background, he has an alligator.
Alligator in resin. And the alligator has bubbles in it.
So this is definitely making me think that like, he just wants to add this guy to his collection.
Yeah, wait, he's coming down. There's PPE.
He's got PPE, he's got gloves.
What's going on? Why the hell can't I move? Because it's cured.
Oh, it's cured!
Yeah, he said because it's cured.
For
also,
real?
it's like in his ears. What is that doing?
Wait, yeah, you wouldn't be able to communicate with him. His ears are in resin.
Well,
resin wouldn't conduct sound well.
Say something into
Hello. I don't think that's a very scientific test. Any sound scientists out there, let us know. Would he be able to hear anything? I vote no.
I know you must be thirsty, but it's important to stay dehydrated. Otherwise, the resin has a hard time bonding long term.
Dude,
that's interesting.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess if you were drinking, then you would sweat and or pee, and that would be putting liquid on your perimeter.
But that guy was just out drinking. He probably already has peed.
Maybe he made sure he peed before he put him in there. He extracted it.
Now, I know you must be thirsty.
That's because I extracted your pee. It's interesting that they mention we want you to be dehydrated and water is the enemy. But like, you know what? Being encased in resin, you would sweat a ton.
You would sweat a ton. So he doesn't want him to sweat because he wants the bond to be better. But like resin that thick, if it is cured, that would have taken a long time to cure.
Yeah.
It's like he already would be dead from dehydration because you can't go more than 3 days. And it would take more than 3 days.
It would take more than 3 days to have resin cure that thick.
And it doesn't look like there was thermal runaway because then it would be all warpy like this. So assuming it's not thermal runaway and he did it all in one layer, which it looks like, it would not be cured yet or this guy would be dead already.
Let me just give a little context for curing thick resin. Some resins are formulated for thick curing, but they take days to solidify. And if you pour resin thicker than it's meant to be cured, you're gonna have thermal runaway, it'll flash cure, and the surface is gonna be really warpy.
That volume, there's no way you could get that much resin cured and poured without thermal runaway.
That's minimum like 6 feet by 2 feet, minimum, just to contain a human.
So already one big strike for the realism of this.
Yeah, but it is interesting that they threw in the dehydration note.
Like they're kind of trying. Like one person on the team watched one of our videos.
And they're like, guys, juices are bad.
Juices are bad.
What are you talking about? Just let me go. No one has to know.
It's resin time.
No, please, no!
That's bad. That's like
bad.
drowning plus.
Like super drowning.
Super drowning.
Chemical drowning.
So after the darkest resin time you'll ever see on this channel, we cut to this guy throwing a frisbee and accidentally hitting the sports guy embedded in resin right in the middle of the park.
In the UV light?
That's gonna start yellowing.
It's gonna yellow.
Also, like, how clear is that resin?
It's really clear. Now, look at his edges. It looks a little bit like some thermal runaway on those edges, right?
It does look like a little bit of thermal runaway. It looks like there might even be some layering. Why would he be like preserved with his face looking calm?
I was just wondering that. Wouldn't he be like yelling or in pain or like panicking?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, the time it would take for him to drown is less time for the resin to cure.
Yeah, so his face would relax.
His face would relax back.
Now, there are some bubbles that they included, which I like that realism. I like that the sides are warped.
That looks just like thermal runaway.
It looks like thermal runaway. I like that they included that it did thermal
too.
runaway. So points to the show for details. The scene moves on and we meet the Hunter's Party people or whatever they're called.
Can we like magnify or enhance the image or whatever tech thing you guys do?
This is the best that I can do with
Enhance.
Thank you, Morales.
They did the enhance!
They did the enhance!
So the killer's name is Adrian Gallo. Hey, just like the episode. By the way, is it just me or did he get a glow up in prison?
We then find out that Adrian has killed at least 6 people with his resin methods. It's interesting that he like displayed them all publicly afterwards.
Yeah.
The image shows like a warpy top surface. Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And like definitely like layer lines on the side.
Definitely layer lines. Now we know that he's done this multiple times. He's got 6 victims. That's more than we have of resin pumpkin cubes. Like he's probably got his system down pretty good.
He probably tested it on animals first. So he's been doing it way more cubes than us.
We could learn from him.
His alleged last victim was a detective who was working on Adrian's case.
We're then introduced to Erica. She's the detective that caught Adrian after he killed her work colleague, and she's got some words for him.
I hope that son of a rots in prison for the rest of his short, pathetic life.
They should preserve him in resin, where he'll never rot. Honestly, I wonder how long some of those bodies have been in there and how well preserved they are.
I wonder if they're buried like that. Because like releasing
You can't open
them,
that up.
Yeah, releasing them would be messier than keeping them in there. I wonder if they're just buried like that. I wonder like, oh, this is so dark. This is so dark. I wonder like at the funeral for them, do they just like have them standing
Like
there?
this?
Or do they do like a closed casket funeral thing?
I would hope it's closed.
All right, let's get to New Mexico before this guy does any more arts and crafts.
Resin is not simply arts and crafts. It's a lifestyle.
It's extreme arts and crafts.
It's extreme arts and crafts.
Okay, so that's Adrian Gallo? That's the resin guy?
No,
Who's that?
I don't know.
No, I think that's the resin guy. Wait, why are his eyes so bloodshot?
Maybe he got resin in his eyes because he didn't wear his safety glasses. He got resin in his eyes.
After escaping, Adrian visits the house of his alleged last victim. Mr. Wilkins, the last victim's neighbor, sees him and calls the police.
Oh, there's things rattling in his house.
Guy's gonna show up with 2 big buckets, part A and part B.
Okay, update. He has been hit in the head.
You're going to tell me everything.
Bad CGI.
Bad CGI.
Here's what I love most about working with Resin.
Here's what I love most about working with Resin.
Oh my gosh,
no.
he's doing a little testimonial. I also love working with Resin. What do you love most?
Once it cures, nothing can be changed.
True, but also not true.
You can sand it.
You can add a burping port to the back of it to release pressure.
Yeah, because of the gases. When we drilled into it to relieve the pressure in it, it literally sprayed my face.
Well, and then we also have Meatball here. He doesn't have a port and he's just cracking more and more every year.
Yeah.
And it's because these gases are trying to escape.
Now, Chunk 1 actually, through sheer accident, ended up working really well. Since he flash cured, I think it cooked a lot of the organic bacteria and compounds and stuff in here and kind of like sterilized it through heat.
Maybe that's happening with the human victims. There is some flash curing happening. We can see the thermal runaway.
Maybe that sterilizes them.
Maybe.
But that also would have killed that first guy who was halfway in the resin through heat.
He would have died from heat, from dehydration, from so many other things.
So many other things. The drive is in the safe. I got this.
Intruder alert. Squeak detected. I understand that we've been compromised.
Yeah, it's these shoes.
What happened?
There was a hostile aquatic anomaly on the linear extraction pathway, ma'am.
So a puddle on the sidewalk.
Yes.
All right, Agent, it's time to introduce you to Vessi, the sponsor of today's video. You can actually see me wearing my Vessi Weekends in many of our videos because they're so comfy and they're perfect for whatever scenario I find myself in.
Vessis are made from Dymatex. It's a breathable fabric that keeps your socks dry, and we've put it through a number of tests.
Wet here, dry here. Look at that. You can see the division. Texas weather can be quite unpredictable.
Texas, why you gotta be like this?
And whether I find myself in unexpected rain or in very hot summer weather, it's peace of mind to have Vessis protecting my feet. Just recently, we were hiking through some tall, wet grass, but I was happy because my feet were dry the whole time.
They even offer 1-year warranty and worry-free 30-day returns and exchanges.
Go to vessi.com/Evan and Katelyn for 15% off your first pair and free shipping.
All right, let's get this done. No! Well, the shoes are amazing. All right. So in his testimonial, Adrian confesses that working with resin is a delicate, precise business. He also points out that epoxy resin has a short time window when it's partially cured where he can manipulate the facial expressions of his victims, like the eyelids, which horrifyingly does make sense because we also work with epoxy resin and know how timing can work against you sometimes, which is a cool detail, but he did say epoxy resin here when the IMDb says acrylic. Get your facts straight, IMDb.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
He keeps going on about how he freezes his victims 24 hours before resining them, 48 hours for the big boys. And you can tell by our live reaction that we thought that was a fantastic idea. For pumpkins. By the way, that guy at the beginning wasn't frozen at all, so what's up with that, Adrian?
Anyway, they show a flashback of the doctors from prison doing a whole Clockwork Orange on our resin boy.
I just had an imagery of us being forced to look at all of our resin abominations.
And after a whole bunch of non-resin related plot development,
Come on, where's more resin? Get to the resin.
More resin.
we jump to the next scene.
So now we're transitioning to the partner who caught him, Erica.
Yeah. And she's painting. Another DIYer.
Another DIYer, hey!
You picked the wrong house.
Oh, he tried to sneak up on her and she did not like that.
Good to see you again.
Thanks, Adrian. Good to see you too.
You and I, we're not so different after all.
We both like arts and crafts.
Then Adrian's like, I want to see them. And we're like, see what? His old specimens? He gets distracted by a phone call and Erica pulls out a gun and I'm like,
Do it, lady.
Adrian runs away and the hunting squad arrives right on time for Erica to already be free from the cord that was holding her hands together.
She got out of that electrical cord real easy.
Real easy. She just casually got out of it.
She's FBI. You are CIA. And you, I'm not quite sure what you are, but I like it.
Then after some flirting / borderline harassment, Erica joins the party. The hunting party.
Okay, we just got confirmation that what the killer said to her was that he needs to see his resins.
Yeah.
So that is what he's after. So maybe they're not buried. Maybe they're still
in a warehouse?
In a warehouse.
And in a warehouse they are. Or at least that's what the show makes us think. Turns out it's all misdirection, because the boxes where the victims should be are mysteriously empty, and Adrian is actually at a strange gift shop where some of his previous resin projects seem to be stored.
The pieces here look like a lot of his old pieces, so maybe they just did end up in a store.
That's why he was able to break into the storage area.
Yeah.
Because he's just at a store, and a shop clerk just came and said, "This area is for employees only, you can't be here."
Dude, do you want to be resined?
Do you want to be resined? Don't talk to this guy like that.
You found the scorpion. It's amazing how something so beautiful can be so deadly, right?
Is he saying that guy's beautiful? Are they flirting?
I love you.
These resins have been gone a long time.
I like how they call them resins. These resins have been gone a long time.
I know. They keep using the word resins. He's going to see the resins.
He said he wants to see his resins.
These resins have been gone a long time.
Give me my resins.
Where are his resins? For his resins.
Did take those resins.
You knew his resins.
Or his resins. His resins.
I love my resins.
I love my resins. Show me my resins.
I've been collecting resins for years.
If he doesn't get his resins,
He's gonna want to make more.
If he doesn't get his resins,
he's gonna
want to make more.
Give that man his resins.
Give that man his resins. My resins.
First he'll need his supplies.
He's at the store. He's buying supplies.
This is generic bottles of resin.
Resin powder.
Resin powder?
Resin powder.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol? Why do you need alcohol?
To clean up? What is resin powder?
What's resin powder? Resin powder. Oh, like mica powder? Mica powder pigments used to color, shimmer, or add pearlescent effects to epoxy, UV, and casting resins.
That doesn't make sense. I feel like it's got to be something different because he's not adding any additives.
There is no
what is
resin powder. Resin powder is colorants.
That seems like such an odd thing to mix in.
Maybe they just someone just Googled what do you need for resin castings? And they're like, resin powder.
Alcohol.
I mean, we sometimes use alcohol to clean up.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's an acceptable supply.
Okay.
But resin powder, he doesn't use resin powder. He wants them to be clear. Wait, what if he's going for a galaxy background?
Oh, or maybe an ocean themed pour?
Acrylic monomer.
Acrylic monomer. But wait, so that'd be implying that he's using acrylic casting.
Yeah, but he said epoxy earlier. A liquid chemical, usually ethyl methacrylate, mixed with acrylic powder to create artificial nail extensions, overlays, and 3D art. Is that the powder? The acrylic powder?
Wait, guys, we just Googled this. This is resin nails. They Googled supplies for resin and they found resin nail supplies.
Certainly not meant for human-sized pores.
Typically setting in 3 to 5 minutes without a lamp.
Yeah, acrylic monomer and polymer powder combined to create durable sculpted acrylic nails. This is just so weird because I feel like everything up to this point, aside from the logistics of cure times, they've gotten a lot of stuff relatively accurate.
Yeah, that is the acrylic monomer right there that the brush is being dipped into. And then they dip that into powder. That's so interesting. They totally messed up.
They Googled the wrong thing.
That's so interesting.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
My God. So that's what they mean by resin powder.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Adrian used to work at a nail salon before Breaking Bad. Anyways, Erica keeps listing Adrian's shopping list.
And we can see syringes, plastic drop cloth, which is very good, and razor blades, a bag of shaving razors, and no shaving cream or aftershave. Man, this guy's really nuts. This is kind of like an evil villain, suit up scene. You got your resin powder. You got your acrylic liquid.
This is how I feel every time we're prepping for a project.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. We get close up on the resin.
Composite resin system. This is part B of a two-part system. This is part B of a two-part system. He's two-part Bs.
Wait.
He's two-part Bs.
Oh, no, they grabbed two-part Bs.
But
No, that won't work. You need A and B combined to make resin that cures.
So yeah, Adrian mixes his resin with 2 different part Bs, typical Adrian, but maybe that's just how things go in the resin nails business. Jokes aside though, this is a moderate error considering it was shown for only a few seconds. What's really funny is what it implies.
Again, it's like an interesting little note that would have been caught if they consulted with an expert. Come on guys, why don't you ask us your resin questions? We'll help you with the accuracy.
Come on.
Any big box store worth their salt will have everything you need.
No. That is
Especially something specialty like this.
This is completely inaccurate. The resin that we use here is even more specialty. This is a deep cure resin designed specifically for casting deep pores. And this is something that only specialty woodworkers use for river pours or weird situations like the ones that we do. No big box store has resin like this.
This entire scene is kind of bothering me because it's so unnecessary.
Yes.
It's not needed for the plot for her to go through and say every item that he's buying. They could have just shown a montage of him grabbing a few things at the store and it would have been implied. So it's interesting that they included this much detail for so much of it to have been wrong.
I'm getting a headache here. Then he shows up at the hotel with all of his resin supplies and a dehumidifier.
He'll make sure it's hotter and drier than hell.
He'll make sure it's hotter and drier than hell.
That confirms that he is trying to induce thermal runaway to cure the thick resin faster.
But I think that she's saying it has to be dry so that the resin cures well.
In super high humidity, you might struggle.
Yeah.
But in a normal workshop, we don't have super dry conditions in here, and it cures just fine.
Cures just fine.
This is what our garage looks like before some projects. We're not beating the allegations. We literally just did this.
The amount of plastic sheeting covering this room looks very suspicious. It's true. Okay, so he's all suited up. He's all ready to go with his resin project, but
he needs a victim. Where will he find that victim? Who will that victim be?
he has the scorpion from the curio store, which does that imply that he stole it, bought it? Where's that employee?
Next victim? Or is the show leading us astray? He's the victim. He's gonna preserve himself.
How could he do all the layers?
One big pour.
I took comfort in the fact that Adrian was dead and that I would never have to see that sick son of a again.
So Erica begins trauma dumping and tells Detective Gurley how devastated she was after Adrian killed her partner. And then she says she's out of the case again, after literally insisting to bring her with them to work on it. I mean, you literally just took them to a warehouse and that's it. Oh well, goodbye Erica, sad to see you go. You were really killing it with the resin.
Razor blade, zip ties, plastic sheeting. Have you ever heard of the phrase, see something, say something?
Zip ties, plastic wrap, razor blades? Have you ever heard of see something, say something? And I'm like, that's our normal shopping list.
Yeah, that's normal day for us.
Do you think we're on a weird list?
There's a possibility.
So then we cut to the other half of the team, and one of them says they have a hard drive with some recordings from the pit. Not the show, the pit, the prison. They call the prison the pit. And we were like, you had access to this hard drive the whole time, but you didn't say anything?
No wonder they don't like him. I think they don't like him.
I don't think they
I'm
like
getting
him.
the vibe
Yeah.
they don't like him.
The hard drive is of course encrypted, so of course we have to have another dope Hackers Be Like segment. I love hacking. I love hacking
Yeah, they're
in
hacking.
videos. She just put a hard drive in from her personal laptop and she just goes blah 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 blah, and then I'm in.
Okay, it's a video of Adrian being tied down to a chair.
Yeah. Wait, is that his resins?
Oh,
Did
that's
the facility have the resins?
that's a big covered cube.
I'll tell you whatever you want.
Oh boy.
Guard, proceed. Go.
The evil doctor just said, guard, proceed. Which is such villain behavior.
Yeah.
An
It's an
incinerator.
incinerator. It's an incinerator.
Wait, that would explode it.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. Wait, that would release such toxic fumes. You can't burn resin. That's like burning plastic. Straight up horrible.
No one's wearing masks. masks.
No one's wearing masks.
All 6 were destroyed.
His art projects.
If all of his resins were destroyed, why did Adrian say, I need to see them?
Yeah, and it was the old detective lady that was passing along that message that Adrian said he needs to see his resins. So that makes me think that she is being fishy.
The plot thickens.
Morales, we're gonna need a location on Erica now.
Erica's phone was turned off 5 minutes ago.
The plot thickens
The
even
plot
more.
thickens.
It's thickening just like resin thickens. It's curing. The plot is curing.
There's a limited time window.
We then cut to Erica getting to her house, and guess who's there? The guy who was flirting with Adrian a little bit ago.
Oh, so I thought he
was dead.
I thought he was dead, but he's here talking to the old detective.
Anyways, he gives her a hotel card.
Oh, Magistrate Hotel.
Okay, it's a message from Adrian the killer.
Saying like, find me here?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what if he does want to be preserved? What if he wants to be preserved?
He's like, this is my final act. Erica's pulling up in the hotel. She's got the room
120.
number.
She has entered the resin hotel room.
And in the hotel room, there's a bunch of random stuff, like a bunch of fans pointing in different directions.
So many fans. Why are there so many fans?
There's so many fans.
Also, look at all those buckets of resin. Didn't he buy just 2 Part Bs? These don't even look like the same brand from before. Where is he getting this stuff?
Maybe he had to go to a bunch of stores to get enough. So he's just got like a mishmash and he's gonna wing it.
Oh, you can't mix resins like that.
No.
You can't, the
formulations
polymers
are different.
We also get a look at the mold he'll use for this pour.
Did he also build the frame in here? Like, does he have like a miter saw?
Yeah, how did he build the wood frame? And it looks like some resin has already been poured.
So he must pour some of the resin before lowering victims in.
Yeah, pour it before. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And but like, the thing is, why do you already pour the resin? What if it cured too much before you put something in there?
What if she stopped for coffee on the way here and like
you have a limited
it took too
window.
long? Yeah.
Very limited window.
That's so true.
You know this, Adrian. You said it yourself, man. What the heck?
That's a lot of resin.
That's like at least 8 inches thick of resin.
And especially if you turn up the heat, that's kicking immediately.
That's kicking right
It's already
away.
warping.
Oh no, you're cooked.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Wait,
is he in underwear?
Is he in underwear and a tank top and then a plastic suit? What a look.
That's a look.
Then Erica's like, give me a reason not to kill you in Minecraft right now. And Adrian's like, I'll give you 3. But I just want 1.
So remember that Adrian's archive said that he had only killed 6 people. Well, apparently Adrian only confessed to 3 of those 6. Meaning that there's another resin murderer out there. I wonder who that could be. Yeah, it's Erica. Oh, definitely Erica.
You killed those last 3.
He just said you killed those last 3.
You killed your partner.
You killed your partner. And then she smiles.
How did you figure it out?
How did you figure it out?
Confirmed.
Confirmed. 2 resiners. 2 resin people.
2 resiners, just like us.
No.
2 resiners.
No, Katelyn, no. Wait, why did she start resining? She was researching his methods and she's like, ooh, I want to try.
She's like, oh, sounds kind of fun.
In reality, she resined her partner because he was moving to another state when the case was done, leaving her behind. And I guess she had feelings for him, so she killed him. And because she didn't know what to do with his body, she resined him since she knew so much about resin at this point. Interesting logic.
They're bonding over wanting to hold on to people through resin.
I would never understand that. She's going on about this whole story, out of passion. She didn't want him to leave. She killed him. And then she was like, what have I done? She sat with his body for 8 or 9 hours and then started thinking about resin. This whole time I'm like, this is curing.
This resin is curing.
Get on with it.
And they're in the hotel room with that much resin exposed.
Masks.
No masks.
No
They made a
masks.
point multiple times showing respirators, showing masks to protect you from all of the VOCs that would be present in this room.
The hunters put the pieces together and discovered that it was indeed Erica. So of course we get the "it was you all along" type flashback.
I like how in this flashback scene, they're trying to imply that she knows everything about resin and she has all these resin supplies, but she's the one that's like
giving misinformation about what resin to use.
About nail resins, nail acrylics.
Then Erica confesses that once she resined her partner, she got a taste of it and couldn't stop resining people. And then Adrian is like, so don't. And Erica gives him one of her famous looks, which is the same look she gave the detective she was flirting with in the beginning. Does that mean that she wanted to resin that dude?
Let me get this straight. You're saying Erica killed 3 people, pinned it all on Adrian because he was the killer.
Okay, now the detectives are just saying the exact same thing again. Everything that was just explained to us.
It was explained by Erica. I did it. I got obsessed. And then they cut to the new detectives. She did it.
She got obsessed. It's like, okay,
it's
TV
like
show.
Filling up some airtime here.
Anyway, the hunters go to the hotel room because they tracked Erica's phone or something, and you'll never guess who's submerged in resin. It's Adrian. Which raises a million questions, like how did he stay fully submerged without floating?
And this is all in one go. What happened to the multiple layers? That accuracy that we were seeing earlier. All of a sudden, all of that's just thrown out the window for plot reasons. There are bubbles. I like that there are bubbles.
Yeah, there's bubbles in the top of his mask.
There's
bubbles
imperfections
in the suit.
and stuff. That's a little bit accurate.
It's a little yellowed.
Yeah, a little bit yellow.
Oh,
but
he's got his scorpion on him. Aw.
But like, how did he stay submerged while cured? Also, like, how long ago were they in the hotel room and all of a sudden the resin's cured? Like, what?
Well, we don't even know if it's cured.
Well, it turns out it wasn't cured yet because this guy, in order to check Adrian's pulse, submerges his bare hand in uncured resin.
Why would you do that?
Full hand submersion in resin.
No.
Adrian was dead, by the way.
You realize people can't breathe resin, right? Like he could be under there, what, like a minute?
Unless he's like really good at holding his breath.
I get that being preserved in resin was his last wish and all, but I still think he looks too calm for a dude that just drowned in resin. Also, Detective Gurley gives this dude a little paper towel to clean the resin off of his hand.
There's a lot of debate on the internet about like how to clean resin off of your hand, but one way not to do it is to wipe it with a paper towel. Guess what? You still got resin on your hand, my guy. That's gonna cure everything you touch. Just like resin everywhere.
Everywhere.
You're holding your gun, all of a sudden, you're always holding your gun.
We then cut to Erica at her house. Like, dude, you know they're onto you. Why would you go back to your house to pack?
The detectives enter the house.
Erica's
Erica grabbed a shotgun. Erica opened fire.
Just shooting.
Erica's just like firing.
Look, we're not gun experts, but even we know you can't just shoot a shotgun 7 times in a row without reloading, but whatever.
6. 7.
7.
We know the show isn't going for accuracy anyways.
I'm guessing you found Adrian. Scorpion was a nice touch, right?
Scorpion was a nice touch.
Yeah.
You know the thing they say about serial killers getting off on the preparation and the ritual of it all?
Hell if it ain't true.
She said, I love the preparation and the ritual of it.
I feel like that about resin. Not about killing.
Then Detective Gurley takes a break to look behind one of the bullet holes left by Erica's shotgun, and what you see next will leave you speechless.
Oh, there's a face.
There's a face.
Perfectly lit face.
How is that face lit? It's in a wall.
Also, how thick are her walls? She must have built like a new wall out.
Yeah.
I'm having like an Attack on Titan moment.
Oh. Wait, also, the bullets would have destroyed the resin.
Yeah.
So there's bullet holes, and like behind, the resin looks perfect.
Yeah, there would definitely be like bullets embedded in the resin.
I know we are just to judge the resin, but we also are like so harshly judging the show.
Judging everything now.
All right, now while everyone was in the middle of a shootout, this guy decides to pull a prank on Erica by sneaking under her house. Oh wait, never mind, that wasn't a prank.
What you say?
Anyways, the show does a time jump and they show us all the resins they've discovered at Erica's.
Adrian was better at this than Erica is. If you look at Erica's, all of their victims are so yellow and cloudy.
Yeah, she didn't decrease the humidity.
Hotter and drier than hell.
But he did small scale tests.
Yeah, oh yeah. He was the more experienced. She's the copycat. I actually like that detail, that she was worse.
He had scorpions and skeletons and an alligator.
He's been doing that for so long.
He worked his way up, as you should when doing resin.
Just confirmed they pulled 13 bodies from the walls.
Okay, so now the detectives are on their massive airplane flying back. Like, look at the headroom.
Their house
look at
airplane.
The headroom. Look at the headroom behind that airplane.
It looks like a living room.
The plane that they show in the CGA shot of them flying.
That's gotta be like
is a tiny plane. Look at how tiny she is.
I know.
What is it for you then? What keeps the light on for Shane Florence?
You.
They're just flirting now.
They're
Is there
just
any more
flirting.
resin talk?
You. Hassani. Morales.
She was like, what keeps the light on for you? And he's like, you.
I mean, and the rest of the team.
I would say that to you, though.
Yeah, but that's because we're in love and we're married.
Yeah.
They're just partners. I mean, partners in the business sense.
Well, we're also partners in the business sense.
Hell yeah. They're eating sandwiches now.
Sandwiches.
And pancakes.
Why don't they talk about resin?
Anyways, back to the resin. I gotta say, someone on the team did some research. It's just that research wasn't shared with everyone. Between the art department, the other writers writing other scenes.
The director is directing like, hey, grab this, grab that.
Yeah.
It's interesting how much they got right, considering some things
were so
wrong. But it was very interesting seeing resin being used like in a TV series.
As like a major plot point.
Yeah.
I'm like, is resin in?
Yeah. Is resin trending right now?
Wow. Basically, the lesson is they should have called us.
Yeah.
And asked us to consult for the TV show.
We're great at preserving bodies in resin.
Pumpkin bodies.
Pumpkin bodies.
Okay, Katelyn, I think I just need to like take you to therapy now.
Let's do some resin.
Resin therapy.
On the next The Hunting Party episode, the hunters try to catch the infamous Rice Krispie Killer.
If he doesn't get his Rice Krispies,
He's just gonna wanna make more.
first he'll need his supplies. Rice powder, isopropyl marshmallows, and bacon. The unlimited type, but no games.